yeah, I need help with the rooms that I go to. The people in there are suffering from the same thing I'm suffering from.
Sure.
And what I wrote about in All the Way to the River, where it was tricky at first, was when I would go into a room to talk about something like crushingly intimate and private, and somebody would come up to me who's also in that room after the meeting as a fan.
Yeah. See, that's crazy.
And that was devastating.
Yeah.
The first 7 times it happened. Ugh. And it's not anymore, but it was devastating.
I'm sure.
Because also I was like, are you going to call home and tell your roommate everything I just said?
Right.
Like, are you going to blog about what are you going to, like, am I safe?
Yeah.
And as I wrote in the book, the first time it happened, it was like one of my first meetings that I went to where I actually raised my hand and told the truth about what was going on. And it was 2 young women who came up to me in a very like fan way. And I left that meeting in tears, like really traumatized, like in tears and physically shaking. And I remember calling my sponsor and she was so angry on my behalf.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was like, that's so fucked up. Like, that is so fucked up. And her anger actually was very healing because it was like, oh, somebody cares about me, you know? And we were new in our relationship. I was new in the program. And her outrage was actually really healing.
Yeah.
But I did have that higher power that night where I was like, I can't go back, you know? And my higher power said to me, you have very clearly said, you have a choice. You can either protect your privacy or you can get well, but you can't do both. So you're going to have to decide. And then over the years, I've just changed how I handle that. So at first I people pleased through it and felt like awful. And then I got like then I became a real hard ass about it. And I was like, I can't be that person in this room. Please respect my anonymity. And I felt awful.
When do you say that? You say that in the beginning, or would be right before your share?
No, I would say if somebody came up, I wouldn't announce. You know, just if someone came up to me and outed me, I would say like, please don't come to me like I'm Elizabeth Gilbert. I can't be that person in this room.
Sure.
I'm Liz G, and I'm suffering, and I need help, and I need anonymity, and please respect that. And you know, or if I'm in an online meeting and somebody sends me a chat and they're like, your book changed my life, you know, I'd be like, please don't bring that here. Like I just need this meeting the same way you do.
Yeah.
So then I went through like a righteousness about it.
Yeah.
And now I've settled into just a total acceptance of it. So when it happens, I just go like, oh, thanks. I'm glad my book meant a lot to you, and I'm glad we're both here.
How long did that
like
take?
Now it's neutralized.
Yeah.
That took 7 years.
Okay, good. Makes sense.
You know, but now it's neutralized where it's not like I'm not a victim and I don't have to school you. It's just like, whatever. People are going to say whatever they're going to say. I'm just here because I need my recovery.
Yeah. What's your favorite recovery book you go to?
The Big Book of AA, which it's funny that I feel it like kind of sticks in my shirt when I say I don't identify as an alcoholic. I'm like, I don't know why you don't. Like, I genetically and environmentally, I qualify for it. My addiction just took a sharp turn and away from alcohol and toward people. But the best recovery work that I've done was with a SLAA sponsor who we did the steps in the Big Book of AA and just changed the language from alcohol to sex and love addiction, intimacy, intrigue, flirting, obsession. We just put all those words in there instead of getting drunk, and then worked those steps like good old fashioned Big Book AA sponsor. She's in her 70s, so she's just an old timer in a lot of programs, and just worked a really rigorous, disciplined Big Book of AA program. And when I sponsor people, that's how I sponsor them. So they may come in for ACA or for al-anon or for CODA, but I sponsor them with the Big Book of AA.
Interesting.
Because it's like, this shit still works.
Did your sponsor know who you were? And like, She knew. She did. Yeah.
Yeah, but you get over it pretty fast when somebody's just sitting in front of you in pain.
Yeah.
Like it's just never, when actually the first sponsor that I had, when I asked her to sponsor me, she was so great. She just said, like, I just want to let you know that I know who you are. And that doesn't have to be part of this, but I just felt like we should put that on not have that be an elephant in the room. And it wasn't. It was like, let's get to work.
That's great. How about with sponsees? I mean, do you have to, what's your boundary around sponsees? I mean, if someone asks you for help, I mean, do you like sit there and say, oh, I wonder why they're asking me? Do you question their motivation sometimes?
I usually I turn down a lot of people. I only have I have 3.5 sponsees right now.
That's crazy still. That's a lot of sponsees.
I have 3 who are working the program and 1 who isn't really. But that's about as much as I can handle. And typically those people have come to me because we go to the same program and we go to the same rooms. And I just follow my intuition on it. I'm like, does this feel like I've seen them in the rooms, I've heard them talk. Or else I'll just do I do something called step 0 before I start with step 1. And my step 0 is like, for 2 weeks, I'm going to ask you to do a 2-way prayer every day and send me a message of yourself reading it. And I'm going to ask you to do a 10th step every day. We jump, I jump right to the 10th step. And I'm like, here's the resentment formula that I do for resentments and fears. Turn one of these over every day and do a 2-way prayer every day. And let's go to a certain number of meetings. And then I just see if they do it, and I tell them right away, like, this is really a test for me to see if you will do these things. Because if you won't do these things, or if you don't like doing these things, I'm not going to be a good match for you, because 2-way prayer and 10th steps are what I base my whole recovery on. And there's probably somebody who will be a better fit. So that's like a sort of trial period.
What's your morning routine usually?
2-way prayer is my, it's my life. So I wake up and that's the first thing I do every day. And then meditation, and then a morning meeting. There's an al-anon meeting I go to almost every morning.
In person?
And no, online, because I travel so much. And it's a meeting that used to be in person and then went online, like many.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm sure you have the same.
Yep.
That went online during COVID. And thank God it did, because now it's so accessible. It's so great to have it. So that's been my anchor meeting. And then whatever I'm told in 2-way prayer, it's like I wake up and God gives me my directions for the day. And I do this. I have this little recording I made, which is like me reading the beginning of that 10th step in the Big Book of AA, like on awakening, that section, like on awakening, we consider the day ahead, and I recorded myself reading it so that when I wake up, I just press it and it's the first thing I hear. And then there's and then I followed that. I spliced it in with a 5-minute breath meditation, and then a 10-minute metta loving kindness prayer meditation of just a cycle of may I be safe, may I be well.
Sure.
And then going through the layers of people. So I have about an hour and a half stuff I do before I start my day.
Yeah.
But if I don't do it, my day is, I know you get this, but it's I really need to do this stuff every day, or else the brain rot, the monsters come back so fast. And all of a sudden I'm I don't want to be alive anymore.
Right.
And I'm what? Where'd that come from? Yeah.
Do you do 10 step at night, or do you do?
And I do it. Well, I do my resentment and fear inventories as they arise.
Got it.
So I do them on the spot.
Yeah.
And I have a friend, one of my favorite fellows, we call it our favorite sport. And I just call him up and I'm I got to leave you a message on WhatsApp. Got a fresh one, got a fresh hot resentment.
Sure.
Fresh hot, piping hot, right off the presses.
Yeah.
And I'm going to turn it over right now. Cause I don't want to carry this around for another minute.
Yeah.
So it's instant resentment inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also do Byron Katie worksheets that help me break down a lot of my beliefs. It's not program approved, but it's definitely adjacent. And I find that it really, like, if I'm like, what am I believing right now that's causing me this much stress?
Right.
And then I break that down with her questions.
Yeah, I do my fear list before I do my gratitude. Is it just right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the most, like, the sharpest fear is, and then I go right to gratitude to try to neutralize it a little bit.
That's smart.
Thanks. Yeah, it's a good routine.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that.
But yeah, I do my daily, I don't do, I sometimes work in like a Courage to Change or like, one day at a time in al-anon. But a lot of my daily readers, I do a lot of stoicism. I do like Pema Chodron. I do like, Thich Nhat Hanh. Like I do all of that stuff because I'm like, my recovery program needs all of these happening at once.
It needs it needs everything.
Yeah.
But can I share with you something that I think is incredible? So when I came in to the rooms the second time, I tried SLA once, and then I was like, I don't think I need this. And then I went out and picked up another qualifier and shot myself in the head again. And then I was like, oh, maybe I need this.
Yeah.
But when I came in for real, like, and when I think about how many professionals I had in my life like I had 2 therapists. One was like a personal therapist, and I had like a couples therapist basically on retainer because I was constantly coming in. I mean, the last time I came in with him, I had this new person with me, and he literally laughed. He was like, "Who do we have today, Liz? Who are we?"
Oh, wow.
Like literally, who's the
same
new
couple
person?
therapists for different partners like that?
Yeah. And when and I'm friends with that couples therapist now, I don't go to him anymore, but like I saw him, we went out for coffee because I was in his town, and I was like, hey, Mark, did you ever have anybody else who brought you 3 different people over the course of 15 years? And he was like, nope. That was a Liz Gilbert special, that one. He's like, it was always so interesting though, because they were always so different.
Right.
He's like, I was always like, and I was like, yeah, I was casting a wide net. I was like, will this work? Will this work? Will this work? Like, let me try the opposite of the last thing. But anyway, I had like these therapists. I was working with like ayahuasca. I had like an ayahuasca shaman. I had like a women's intuitive health person I was doing stuff with. I had spiritual advisors. I had like so many people on staff, basically.
Sure.
Like, who else? It was body work, like trauma work. Like I could have probably counted like 8 people that I was paying, that a hormone therapist, doctors. I had a Xanax prescription. I had a Zoloft prescription. And I had sleeping pills prescribed, none of which I thought was at all problematic, but I was just like, this is what I need. Plus aside from the fact that I was drinking. So it's like all of that, it was like a raft of people keeping me afloat.
Yeah.
And as I continued this like rigorous recovery program, like one after another, those people dropped away.
Sure.
And like those pills dropped away, and those substances and those people dropped away. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like doing life. Like I'm out here every day doing life.
Yeah.
Without any of that. And it's all because of the rooms of recovery. It replaced all of that. I just think that's incredible.
That is.
I think that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. How's your anger?
Oh, it's a delight. It's a real fucking joy.
Is it inward, outward? I mean, are you honk your horn in traffic? I mean,
it's inward. I'm not. It's an inward. It's all inward. It's an internal volcano.
Got it.
It's resentment more than anything.
Sure.
Like I was shocked when I did my first resentment full step 4. And cataloged every single one of my resentments. I went through my phone. I just like went to, she's like, go through your phone, go through your contacts. Do you have any resentments against it? Every name? I was like, yeah, I resent him for that. Yeah, I resent her for that.
Right.
Yeah, I resent, like there was hardly anybody I could find in my life I didn't have resentments for. And I'm out here thinking I'm a really nice person. Like really, I'm like, I'm a really nice, kind, loving person. Meanwhile, I cataloged, I can't remember the exact number, but it's over 400 active resentments.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, I hate everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit.
Right.
Like I hid that so well, I didn't even know.